Well, it is that time of year again. In fact, it's been over a year since the last time I've done one of these. But all right, I'm back in the DM's chair, and we're back for another Shardpoint. Actually,
it's that time again. You can't keep a good Shardpoint down.
Nope, and I can't keep a good schedule down either for that. But that's not going to stop us from having an episode today. So,
Shardpoint getting tenure.
We're only up to 6 episodes. I think we need to get to at least 10 to get tenure until you get that point.
We've got 6 here. It's good enough.
That's pretty good, yeah. All right. So, hi, everybody. Let's go ahead and let's just get our introductions in order because I need to do a little preamble before I reveal who our characters are. But before we get there, let's talk about what's going on. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Shardpoint Academy. My name is Michael Schiciano. I go by Skitch everywhere. He, they, and I will be playing as all the NPCs as the DM for this session for our 3 wonderful players today. So let's go ahead and get to our introductions for them. I'm going to start with Forneia. Go ahead and introduce yourself. New returning player, but new name. So go ahead.
I wasn't expecting you to actually go to me first. All right, then. So I am Forneia. I am a VTuber. I can be found at twitch.tv/Forneia, Forneia. I have been on for Shardpoint previously, and I played Koltash, a Kalashtar teacher of trick gunplay.
Yes. All right. So yeah, we have all veterans here, and I wanted to start with you first because we have a special pair of guests for today, returning.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That's right, power duo. Laura, Jane, go ahead, make with your introductions.
You want to go first, Jane?
I'll go first. Hello, I'm Jane. I am in there words. I'm a freelance video and audio editor. I also stream. I have recently co-written a book with Laura called Who Wants the Whales about the awfulness of capitalism in the video games industry. I do many things, some of them reasonably well. Find all of my stuff at Linktree, linktree.ee/Janiac, Janiac.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm Laura. I go by Laura K. Buzz on the internet. I made Who Hunts the Whale with Jane. I'm also on Dice Funk. I have been on seasons 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and now 10, and one-shots of varying kinds that have included at least one Shardpoint in the past. Dice Funk just can't get rid of me, and I'm here again throwing myself into more Dice Funks.
I believe at least one of the one-shots was a game that you designed too, wasn't it, Laura, right?
At least one of them. I've designed a second game that I want to do a one-shot of at some point, but I'm going to wait until I'm not DMing half of a season of Dice Funk to find time to run another one-shot.
Yeah, fair.
That's completely fair. Yes, and I will apologize for keeping you up late for 3 nights in the
Look, there's no night of the week, Monday to Friday, that I get to bed before midnight. This is par for the course.
Well, all right.
Late night crew. Woo-hoo!
Yes, late night crew. And speaking about the opposite of that, unfortunately, we are on a particularly special day here at Shardpoint Academy. So let me give a little preamble about what's happening here. So, Shardpoint Academy is designed to accommodate a wide range of students for a wide range of potential walks of life after they leave the academy. And we've seen many students from different disciplines and different character classes. We've seen bards, artificers, clerics, and a whole litany of others. But there's one particular character class that was always interesting to think about from the perspective of a magic school, and that is the Warlock, because Warlocks get their magic powers from powerful entities known as patrons. And, so one of the things I was thinking was, how would Warlocks work at a magic school? And part of me thought, okay, this is like a boarding school component where they learn how to be better Warlocks for their patrons. So this episode is very much Warlock themed, but with a little bit of a twist. And to understand that twist, we will then fade in on our scene that opens up in the office of the headmaster of Shardpoint Academy, Orin Waite. And he is sitting at his desk. He has JJJ, the little weasel, just kind of like in one of the little play areas nearby. And seated across from Orin are three, well, let's call them entities, in their own respective chairs. Let's just make this one thing very clear. I mentioned this is a Warlock themed episode, but our players here are not playing the Warlocks. So let's go ahead and get started with introducing who our characters actually are for today. Who would like to start?
So I am going to be playing Josephene, who is a celestial patron of the upper planar angel variety. She is part biblically accurate angel, part overbearing mother bimbo. Speaking with Skitch, we were kind of debating on calling this bimboly accurate angel. So that's her thing.
All right, so we have a Celestial. Who's next?
I suppose I shall go next. I will be playing Beryl. She is a mid-old one. Not quite a great old one. She'll maybe work up to that in a few thousand years. Most of the time, she just looks like a nice old lady of indistinct species, but occasionally she spouts terrifying oily tentacles from her back, which she mostly just used for crochet.
Very nice.
We're both in the Tentacle Club.
Yeah.
Right.
And I will be playing Gambella, who, to all appearances, just looks like a very, very, very exhausted goth woman. She's got very like messy hair. She's not had a chance to brush it. She's got like armfuls of loose papers. She just looks very tired.
All right. So yes, as indicated by our players, our characters today are not the Warlocks. They're the Warlocks' patrons. And you might be thinking, well, how are we going to do character sheets for these? The answer is we're not. We're going to be playing a little bit looser. My primary rule for how we're going to work today is that each character has 2 ability scores that they always roll advantage with, and 1 that they always roll disadvantage with. And we'll unpack that as we get down along the line. But to open up, we have Orin at the desk talking to these 3 patrons and describing the situation as thus. Okay, thank you all for making the time to come out here. I understand that it's always a little weird to come to the material plane under short notice, but you'll have to understand that this is an issue of utmost importance as it pertains to all 3 of your Warlocks who are students here at the Academy.
Well, it's always nice to see new environments and getting to know new people, It's always a lot of fun.
Whatever it is we need to get done, the quicker you can let me know, the quicker I can get back to my spreadsheets. I've been trying to crunch the numbers on the carrot and stick reward and punishments for a while, and any info you've got would be useful.
Well, simply put, when your Warlocks joined in as students, there were agreements and papers had to be signed, and upon evaluating them, I came across a clause that has not been resolved yet in these contracts. In essence, let me see if I can pull it up here. Okay, got it. Upon this agreement being signed, the patron agrees that under the condition if and or when the Warlock student exceeds all expectations in her academic endeavors, the patron will be contractually obligated to reward the Warlock accordingly in order to push back against long-held traditions of predatorial patron-Warlock relations. This exchange will result in the Warlock being given at least both of the following. 1, parentheses, numeral 1, unparentheses, appendage written letter expressing genuine praise for the good work that they have done. Exemptions can be allowed for those without limbs, such as hexblades and other incorporeal entities, as well as 1, parentheses 1, unparentheses, physical and or material gift of sufficient worth and or value to the Warlock. If this is not resolved accordingly, then the Academy itself will be held under review and possibly audited for further actions being taken by the international Warlock fair treatment community. So, as you can surmise from this, unfortunately, I suppose to some, your 3 Warlocks have been doing exceptionally well as students, and therefore they are due some reward from each of you in order for the school to remain in good standing with the international community.
Okay, I've got like 2 questions I need to get out the way. First of all, sincerely written letter of congratulations. Do you have like any magical way of ensuring that it's sincere, or does it just have to come across as sincere?
That's a good question. The contract did not specify that the letter had to be verified through magical means of being genuine.
Okay.
It just says the letter has to express what appears to be genuine praise.
Okay. And the other one is the clauses in here to make sure that patrons aren't, taking advantage of their warlocks. Again, same question. There's no, like, verifying. Like, this isn't, we're gonna get verified that we're not, like, we do this one gift and, like, legally that means we're not taking advantage of our warlocks at all.
This is apparently what the contract, what the stipulations are when the school was being formed. There's a lot of stakeholders, and this is the most that was placed in there upon us.
That's actually really reassuring. If I do this, I am contractually not taking advantage of my warlock. Cool, good to know.
But yes, that is the long and short of what needs to be done. Are there questions about that condition before? Are there questions about that condition before I go into proposing some methods of resolving this part of the contract?
Well, I've been sending all kinds of gifts and favors and other great things for my wonderful, wonderful boy. And I just wanted to know, does that all qualify? Am I good on that? Or I need to do something extra special? I don't know. Like, what's the read?
Well, the read, unfortunately, was not much. I believe the ruling from the mail room, which is currently the melee room, they're currently they've divided up into factions based on postage codes within the school. I don't want to get into that. But the reading that I got from them when reviewing your case, Josephine, is that none of your care packages have been actually delivered to your warlock.
What?
Listen, there are some particular policies about outside substances going through the mail facility, which is why I would propose in this case that you just personally deliver the items to the warlocks, thereby circumventing the mail room altogether.
Well, I suppose I'm just going to have to come around here and grace everyone with my presence. No harm in that, I hope. I figured that it was a bit much for someone of my stature and situation to be coming around and just hanging about all the young folks and everything else. And, I really want my boy to succeed, and he's been doing very, very well, and I wouldn't want to disrupt that by showing up more than I need to.
Yes, it was Stephanel Drain. He's, I believe, the captain of the Academy's bocce team, which is,
that's
very
the
good
one.
Yes, Shardpoint has a varsity bocce ball team. I don't know why. It just does now. International competitive bocce ball. Orwin will glance over to. Sorry,
what was the joke? What was the joke that we were thinking about? The team name is the Botulators.
Botulators. I think it's a pretty good one there. Orwin's going to look over at is it Beryl? Is that how it's pronounced, Jane?
Beryl,
yeah. And just sort of regards as for in your case, I will inform you that this might be more of a technicality, as I believe your warlock, was it Nigel? How you pronounce that name?
To be honest, he's very boring, and I've kind of forgotten most of the time he is the living embodiment of beige. But we do our best with him. I was quickly, with regards to the postal issue, is there any chance that outgoing mail has been affected as well? Because I haven't received a single tormented soul or any, not a drip of sanity.
Yes, that. I will have to consult the melee room to see if there's any information about those sort of deliveries being made, and I suppose I'll do that while you all resolve this particular issue. I would say that your Warlock's case is a little unusual insofar that they have succeeded well academically while doing nothing but elective classes. So they have actually scored 0 credit hours towards graduation, but still somehow performed above expectations. I'm not entirely sure how that worked. I suppose the standards were set low enough that they tripped over for success, is the term, but...
He's enthusiastic, bookish, but one of those all the gear and no idea kind of boys.
Yes. And for you, Gambella, I don't know if let's see if I can find your Warlock's name.
Clarissa.
Clarissa, yes. She honestly is very well-mannered, very well-behaved, very eager to find out the results of things, I for some reason, but...
Yes. Yes, very, very results oriented. I have been keeping them right on the baseline of satisfied, just really, really desperate for the next time that they find out they did well at something. Again, contractually, I'm not taking advantage of them in any way.
Right.
It's just called encouragement.
Exactly. I find that they praise me more when I really carefully dole out the rewards and the punishments in exactly precisely measured increments that make them crave rolling the dice and seeing whether I like them today.
Right. Well, if you wish, you can obviously consult your Warlocks, but when you're ready, we do actually have a way of helping out with the second clause of the contract. Thankfully, whoever decided to build this academy has way too much time on their hands, and it's designed a myriad of portals exiting out of the school into other areas via the janitor closets. And when the time comes, I believe we can help get you all to one of many places to engage in any sort of consumerism, with the intentional goal of finding something that would be satisfying for your Warlock. So when the time comes, just look for one of the janitors, and they'll be sure to help you out with that.
Right. Something to consume, like the minds of the sane. Yes, we could probably drive them to something or other.
I believe they sell sanity at Whitefield or Hellridge's or something.
Yes, if you can't make your own sanity, store-bought is fine.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well,
can I just say that I really like the cleverness of just having the janitors not only keep clean the grounds and everything else, they also clean up traffic. It's great.
I'm still trying to understand this school as well as I can, but it is what it is. I suppose for the time being, it looks like the first blood has been drawn in the melee room, and I'm going to have to go down there and try to break up a few fights. I think they're trying to... I believe the current term that's come out of there is last parcel standing, and I don't know what that means. I don't know whether that means they're fighting the mail or there means something else entirely. But you'll have to excuse me while you all get to making sure that the school does not get audited again.
Maybe they're playing Capture the Flag stamp.
Nice. And with that, Orid quickly ducks under the desk that they're sitting behind, and if one were to look, he's just gone. Either teleported away or some other means of getting to the melee room, where inbound and outbound mail is just caught up in a weird, obscure fight. But
I like to imagine just like a Jetsons tube, just like
there are such tubes in the school, mainly for JJJ to navigate around. They're weasel tubes, effectively.
oh boy.
I mean, I was just picturing like stage magician style. There's a mirror at a slight angle you've hidden behind, and you're like, I've definitely left the room.
That would not be that would not be beyond Orin to do.
I'm just thinking that the familiar's name is just J. Jonah Jetson now.
Oh, there's many things. As a reminder, the name is oh gosh, it's been so long. It is Jamarius Jenkins Jolly Good. That's what it is. Because Orin's a gnome, and that's a very gnomish name to give something. So at this point, we will move out past the meeting. Our heroes for today know what their jobs are. So you're welcome to interact with your warlocks if you wish, or do anything else you wish at the school before we move on to our the main stage of the campaign for today.
I think Gambella is gonna like go straight over to the desk in the office where we've just had this meeting and grab a sheet of paper and try and put this this sort of note of sincere thanks together for her warlock, and is going to very quickly just sort of go okay, where do I start? Dear Clarissa, you have done admirably at weathering the trials and tribulations I have provided you of having wild magic. The results of the magic you do are entirely random, as is definitely, really, truly, very, very truthfully the case. And you have done very well at continuing to praise me a wonderful amount. Your ability to the roll the dice and have positive wild magic results come out at just the right frequency that you continue your studies has been wonderful to see. I'm sure you put lots of effort into that. You have been doing a great job at singing my praises. I hope you continue to roll the random dice of chance and receive my definitely not doled out very sparingly, as per my spreadsheets, blessings. Yours sincerely, very sincerely, it is legally considered sincere, Gambella.
I like that entire sequence there, like yours sincerely.
Yeah, this'll do, right, you two, this'll probably do. I wrote sincerely on there like 4 times.
Can I just say that it makes your patron sound basically just like the software, like the player condition software that they had for MapleStory 2? Have you heard about that?
No. What is this?
It keeps track of like how many good things happen for a player and what they're saying. So if you go around saying I'm having fun or I enjoy this, it doesn't give you shit. But if you say like I hate this game or I'm going to quit, suddenly a bunch of good things start happening to you. So it just measures it out just to keep people along. It's just like, it's really gross.
Yeah, no. So the deal here for Gambella is that she's presenting to her warlock that he has completely random wild magic. I spin the wheel every time that... The way that Gambella is presenting to her warlock is that you've got wild magic. Every time you do magic, I spin the random chance wheel and you get some sort of effect. Now, Gambella has very carefully planned out, using all the tricks of the loot box video game industry system, exactly how often to dole out positive rewards versus negatives to keep that like just one more go loop going to maximize the emotional investment in worshipping her as a patron. So like just to get that explicitly out there, she's loot boxing her warlock.
I had a feeling that I was like somewhere in that realm.
All right. We don't need to necessarily play out everyone write out their letters unless someone has an idea for theirs that they want to tap into. But But yeah, with that, is there anything else y'all want to do while in the office? Anything you want to steal or whatever,
I think Beryl, as she's sort of packing up her crochet, will look towards JJJ and give him like a knowing wink and say, "I like the cut of your jib."
The weasel sniffs the air for a moment and then winks back at you.
Oh, you got weasel winks.
We know what's going on.
Ah. I want to wink at the weasel now. Does the weasel wink back at me?
It takes a beat, but JJJ does wink back with the other eye this time.
Oh, hell yeah. Weasel winks.
Seeing as how, well, one, I neglected to mention this earlier because I always forget to actually give physical descriptions in more detail than I should. I might actually ask you to edit some of that in from like a post-recording kind of deal. So Josephine, when I say part biblically accurate angel and part bimbo, yeah, normally she just looks like a seriously curvy, top-heavy lady, but she also still has several tentacles that come from her back and form her wings. She does not have feathery tentacles. Her tentacles are, or feathery wings. She has tentacle wings. Mm-hmm. And right now, there is another person of interest who also has tentacles, and she is very interested in seeing whose are bigger.
I'm not sure if there's a role we should do for this or just some other way to determine who has the bigger tentacles in this relationship here.
What do you roll for tentacle size?
I don't know. I would say
happy thoughts.
Happy thoughts.
I mean, maybe dexterity to really stretch him out, get him looking as big as possible.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm thinking charisma myself.
Well,
yeah.
Let's do charisma. But wait a minute. Oh, looks like Beryl and Josephine both have permanent advantage on charisma. So go ahead, and just give me 2d20s each, and let's see how this pans out.
Oh boy.
Seeing as you're doing this with charisma, are you both trying to see like who has the best big tentacle energy?
I rolled so poorly. I got a 3 and an 8.
I got a 12 each time.
All right. Well, in this case here, Josephine does seem to make a bigger show of their tentacles in this particular moment there. Granted, I think Beryl has a slight disadvantage because she's probably knitting something at this very moment.
ABK, always be knitting.
Always be knitting. Yeah.
Look, it's not about the size of your tentacles, it's about what you do with them, and that's some wonderful knitting you're doing.
And speaking about knitting adjacent things, I will just as an added reminder, one of the details about JJJ's, they have a very fancy looking like little vest that they have wearing, and even like a little pocket square in the little vest pocket on that there. So that's just things that that Beryl can see very easily when exchanging winks with the weasel.
So rather than walking out the door to the office, Beryl just dissolves into a puddle of black slime and just reappears outside Nigel's door. And not so much knocks as just goes...
One sec. I'll be right there. And after a little bit of fumbling, the stuff being knocked over, the door opens and kind of dressed kind of disheveled and otherwise is, well, Nigel, I described what they look like, but they make Blake look like an interesting and elaborate individual by comparison. There's your little season 6 reference there, everyone. But yeah, the most, I can't even think of a better way to describe it, the most milquetoast person possible. I think when you described them, you even gave him like a 9 in charisma, which is hilarious. A warlock with a negative charisma stat chain.
That was kind of the point. Yeah, he's very, very bad at it, but he deeply desires things and finds himself in all sorts of trouble. That's probably how he got to us in the first place. But yeah, the living embodiment of beige, he wears just like boring charcoal grey drainpipe trousers and a little knitted cardigan. That he may have had forever, and it too is a mix of camel taupe and beige. Get all the sort of vague brown feels in there.
Hey, well, hey, Beryl, I wasn't expecting you to show up. I hope I didn't do anything wrong.
You are a constant disappointment, but I am contractually obliged to inform you that you've done very well. So, here is a well-done note. We had to handwrite you a thing, so here's this. It just says, GG.
Oh man, those are my two favorite letters. Nice. 1 second here, and Nigel runs over to the wall where there's like some posters and stuff, and just like takes some sticky tack or whatever it is, just sort of puts the letter up on the wall next to the posters. Just this piece of paper just says GG on it, not even signed it to him specifically.
Is that a poster for gravel?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, no. This is actually asphalt. I tried to get a gravel poster in here, but I was told I was a little bit too racy for the dorms. The others were getting kind of a little bit intimidated by it. So I have asphalt, and that's tree bark right there. You know.
Yes. Oh, have you managed to torment anyone recently? Broken anyone's mind? I hear you could probably throw them down to the mailroom. That's where the action is.
No. Listen, I'm working on that, but this semester I was feeling a little like overwhelmed, so I just kind of wanted to take it easy, and I took a bunch of electives. We had home economics. I had nonfiction writing was one of the classes I took. Descriptive writing is what they call it, but just like that, and a wall staring, which I don't even know why that's a class, but I saw that, I'm like, that sounds like my cup of tea, man. So I just signed up for that.
Yes, I saw you done quite well at History of Chaos and Chaos Literature and Artifacts of Chaos Identification, so antiques, but not actually much in the practical terms.
Yeah. I mean, I'm working up to it. I just gotta I've tried casting. I tried casting a spell or two, and I haven't made a complete embarrassment of myself when I tried that. But usually, the only people watching are the asphalt posters. So
Yes. Well, I had considered getting you a nice gift, considering you'd done so well, and I had heard that a gold star is traditional, so I considered that. I started working on it, and then I found out that actually to get nuclear fusion that constantly churns out radioactive gold, I'd probably need more energy than exists within the entire planiverse. And I did talk to the big man about possibly ending everything, but he's just got himself a new weighted blanket, and he wants to really give it a proper testing out, and until such time as he's managed to actually destroy everything himself. So maybe at graduation. She gives him a little pat on the head with one of her tentacles.
That sounds pretty cool. Well, I mean, I'm game for anything. I was thinking, man, some of the other kids look a bit cooler than me, so I was thinking maybe getting a haircut or something, or maybe a nice little a second pair of pants that look like a slightly different shade of gray, something that would really make me stand out.
Nigel, why don't you just join the family? We'd maybe work on some tentacles for you. They're very cool. People like them. People of all ages and genders.
I mean, that's an option, but I don't know. I don't know how to grow them or anything. I'm just I'm just Nigel. Hey, here I am.
She's gonna give him another one of those creepy winks that she gave JJJ.
And Nigel just sort of doesn't get it and does not respond back in kind.
Yes. Don't worry, we'll fancy you up, lads. Don't you worry at all. Just maybe some graffiti, something. Could you maybe just act up just a little bit?
I mean, there was that one time I wadded up a piece of paper and left it on my desk for a whole 2 minutes. I think that was pretty rebellious,
Oh yeah, hack the system, Nigel. Oh. Right, I've got to go. I think I hear the tormented wailing of bye.
Nigel's such a dweeb.
Oh, that was great.
All right.
Can I just say I was getting a lot of vibes from Are You Being Served through that whole thing?
It wasn't the voice I'd been practicing for the last half hour, but it was the one that came out when I spoke, so there we go. It's basically Hyacinth Bouquet, if you've ever watched Keeping Up Appearances.
All right. So you've had a chance to sort of feel out like a little bit of what Nigel's like. Pretty easy to please, to a fault, I guess. But all right. I guess Gambella, do you want to have an interaction with Clarissa?
Yes. Right. Here we go. So put down my notes. Knock at the door. Here we go.
1 second. And then, there's another sort of fumbling sound of a room. Door swings open, and then there's just a gasp like, oh, it's you. Oh, shit, I haven't done my dailies yet. Okay.
I mean, you get 3 free spins on the wild magic wheel if you do your daily prayers.
I know. I got that, and I was going to I was gonna get some currency and get that a little bit later on after I got my little my allowance from my parents and stuff. But I just really wanted to make sure that that I was just doing good. Anyways, I didn't expect you to be here.
It's okay. Don't worry. You have until midnight to get your dailies in. It's all good.
Right. I have a whole.
How are you doing? Are you feeling good and satisfied by all of your magic? Everything feeling good and up to scratch?
It's amazing what it's like when everything's completely random and not controlled by some, shadowy figure that's manipulating the numbers in the background. It feels great,
Oh, I know. It's what a curse I have having to be in charge of pure randomness. But I'm glad that it doesn't work out so well for some of my other warlocks. But you seem to be getting all of my best luck. You've got better skews than anyone else I've had with me. You're truly special. You are.
Yeah, I'm about let's see here. I'm about to do poll. I'll be doing lucky poll number 38 for the week today, so I know I'm going to get something good then. It's 50% of the time. It always is poll number 38 that gives me something that is better than 2 stars. So I'm ready for that.
Yep. I mean, statistically, it is 50% of the time that it is always the case for number 38, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I hear you've been working very hard. I hear you've been doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You've been putting the work in.
Yep. I've decided to just guess randomly on. Ooh, let's see what we got here. Okay. I've been guessing randomly on every question on every test, and for some reason, it turns out that I'm somehow on the top of the curve of the class every time.
Well, I'm glad that random chance, and it is definitely random chance, has given you just enough random chance to get you all those correct answers to keep you pleased with the patron warlock relationship. I have this letter for you.
Oh.
None of my other warlocks have been getting these.
Oh, I see. And Clarissa just opens up the letter, reads it really quickly, and then hugs it to their chest. We're like, oh, this is great. Awesome. Thank you. Oh.
Right. See, you've been so good at keeping up with your dailies that this is a special reward. This is a special 3 years, 8 months, and 2 days daily login bonus reward. You've not broken your streak in all that time, and this is just for you.
Oh, I knew that this day was going to come. Of course it would be on this particular day. All these other ones do their special login bonuses on the first day of the month or the first day of the year.
Well, see, you know why it's then? It's 3 years, 8 months, that's 38. And 2 days, 2 is divide by 2, 50%. It's the odds on the 38th poll. See, it was all meant to be.
Everything works exactly as randomly planned.
Look, Look, you just have to look out for the patterns in the random luck and keep doing the pulls until the definitely real patterns start to emerge, and you'll continue to have a great time.
I will say that as you talk with Clarissa, if you look in the room, you might notice that on the wall they have what appears to be like a giant map of everything there, including what looks to be a probability table that they have reverse engineered, and a cursory glance indicates that's a pretty good guess into what the odds probably are, but not quite.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, look, I look over at this probability chart, and I think that the problem is some of the data that she's been using to try and map out the probability was correct, and once I realized, you've worked it out too well, I start tweaking the odds to be oh no, there's more to it. I need to keep doing the pulls to find out what I got wrong. Right. Just stopping you from really locking down those numbers. I don't want you doing the thing where you wait until 46 people have played the crane game before you play it, and that's where you get your win.
Yeah, you've issued hot fixes where you've indicated, what are the changes to hot fix? We've fixed some stability and security in the wild magic tables there. But what we don't mention is the odds have been modified slightly. Also, you just have to go into the odds. Sorry.
Exactly. I make the rewards slightly less frequent, but just slightly better. So it's I was unlucky for slightly longer, but it was worth it. So I will start putting up with that slightly longer wait between rewards.
So my question for that is does the probabilities get better or worse if somebody pays into the wild magic, or is it better when they're?
I mean, here's the thing. I think that the more someone is really, really putting in the work for their patron, I think that the odds do go up, but they go up. They don't go up exponentially. It's not I pay. I did twice as many things for my patron, my odds doubled. It's diminishing returns, but if you keep doing more for your patron, the odds will slightly go up.
Well then, you could also see a bunch of various little trinkets around in there, standard items that, one might have to appear to give them good luck due to various superstitions things. So you might notice, for example, there is a singular shoe mounted on the wall. It's their lucky specific shoe they wore that one day they happened to get a really good pull on their magic, and a couple other things. There's a little, I don't know, I'm trying to think here, I'm trying to think of something that'd be very silly to have.
The lucky Hawaiian shirt.
Yes, things like that.
This is the pen I was using when I got those really good results on that test. That stays up on the wall. That's the lucky pen now.
Right. It's so lucky. I don't want to use it because that ruins the luck. Right? That's how things work.
This is my lucky stress ball. It makes all the bad rolls go away.
Yeah. So Gambella's gonna just say, look, I've got to go now, but I'm gonna be back later with a little gift for you, and don't worry, it's going to be it's going to be a lot of lucky things all real smushed in together. It's going to be so lucky you're not even going to know what to do with yourself.
Oh, do I need to do a fourth pull to get it or something?
No. This is part of your daily login bonus for the 3 months, 3 years, 8 months, and 2 days. It wouldn't hurt to do an extra pull. If you did an extra pull, it might be even better. Who knows? But you'll get something no matter what.
I got it. Okay, I'll make sure to plug the wild magic into all the other times I hang out with friends, just to make sure to get them on board too.
Oh yes, the more people you sign up for wild magic, the better. You'll get those referral bonuses before you know it.
Influencer bonuses.
With that, she's gonna head off.
All right. I think for our last student interaction, we got Josephine.
Yep.
All right. I'll say this: while you're approaching Stefan Eldraine, is it Stephen Eldraine or Stefan Eldraine? How do you?
Stephen Eldraine.
Stephen Eldraine. Okay. Stephen Eldraine.
Yeah. As Josephine is just going to saunter out of the office and ask someone for directions, your big hip swaying all the way, getting stared at by basically everyone and pretty much proving why she should not hang around campus on a regular basis and all that other business because boy howdy, these are college students and she is distracting as hell. But eventually she will arrive, probably with a little bit of a crowd following at a safe distance.
Mm-hmm. I will say that as you approach Stephen Eldrain's room, you'll notice that there's a handful of students basically using prestidigitation to do like silly string all over the door. Just kind of like doing some sort of what appears to be like a borderline prank type thing as you approach.
Oh, hello there. Are you my boy's friends?
Sorry. And the kids just sort of bolt away as soon as they notice they're being watched by a crowd at this point here.
What strange children. Oh, well. She'll go to the door and she won't even touch it. She is going to just kind of radiate her golden glow such that the light permeates the door.
Oh, okay. Oh, my mom. Okay, wait. Okay, I'll be there. And there's, again, stumbling stuff, and then the door opens, and you see what I guess is actually an Aasimar, because they're effectively a half celestial themselves, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, so they're in just, regular clothes. They got like a varsity jacket on for the bocce team. They see you there. It's like, oh God, Mom. I mean,
Stephen Eldrin! Great big mom hug.
Hi, Mom. I wasn't.
It's been so long since I've seen you. Kisses all over the cheeks. All kinds of lipstick marks left behind. It's been so long. How have you been, sweetie? You've been doing so well.
Thanks, but guys, can you stop staring at my mom?
Are those your friends? You have some other friends here. They were decorating your door.
Oh, those are the rookies. They're just hazing the team captains, as is tradition. It's
Oh, they're making your door foggy. That's so sweet.
Right. So, Mom, what are you doing here?
Well, there was a big thing when we signed you up for this college. It's really nice, and we wanted to make sure you had everything you needed. And so, seeing as how Mommy's a little special and a little unusual, we needed to make sure that all the paperwork was in order. And so, we're following through on that and making sure everything's all good and happy.
Oh, so that's why other moms sent me that stuff already. Okay.
Oh, Judith's been around?
Well, yeah, Judith sent me like this letter saying how, she's proud of me and stuff, and then she also sent me sorry, I'm just getting some digestion issue there.
All good.
Judith sent me a letter saying that she was proud of what I was doing, and she came by and dropped off a little care package as they point over to the desk. And there's a little basket with some stuff in there, what looks to be some bocce balls and other little stuff tied up with a bow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so sweet of her. I really need to give her a call. It's been so long. I've been sending you so many things. I've been thinking of you every day. Apparently the mailroom is having some kind of tiff with itself, so they haven't sent any of my things to you. And, well, it just means I might have to show up a little more often around here and give you my gifts myself. Isn't that great, sweetie?
Sure, Mom, but listen, I just need some space, I just want to, do well in the team, do well in my class and stuff like that. And, just kind
you have plenty of space. You just need to step outside of the door every so often. Just look up. It's plenty of space up there.
Right, Mom. So listen, if you want to do that, if you want to like do something like that for me, there's one thing I asked Judith for, and she didn't bother giving me.
What? That sounds unlike her.
Yeah, well, so some of the other guys in the team found out that she used to be like, a big championship level bocce ball player. Back when she...
Oh, that's how we met. It was so exciting those days.
Yeah, back she played over at, it was Ohio State University, just that GSU, she was a big star. Well, the thing was when... And that is Ohio and GNOLLHIO, just to join Schmorda and Fuskany. It's like, well, apparently they made like trading cards of the players on her team, and and the other guys were trying to make a full set, and they're missing her card. And so I asked if she had one that she could give me, and she was like, no, that picture's embarrassing. I ain't giving that to you, kid. Nice try. And then, that was that.
Oh, you're making a photo album. That's so precious. Those days were so wonderful. She prayed so hard the day before the championships. It's how we met, after all.
Right. Well, I mean, if you could help get that, that'd actually be, I don't know, kind of cool, Mom, but...
I'll see what I can do. It shouldn't be too hard to find a nice picture of Judith.
Right. Okay. Well, in the meantime, can you not hover by my room too closely? There's too many of the other students kind of gawking at you for me to be kind of comfortable here. So, see you later, Mom. And then they try to they try to I don't know, act like they're busy with something in the room while you're just standing there.
She starts to basically say how she doesn't mind people watching her, because you get used to that kind of, and the door shut.
So yes, so we got that little thing resolved out, and unless there's anything else you want to do at the school one way or another, I think we can go ahead and reveal where we're going for the latter part of our adventure today.
I will say that Josephine does head over towards the staring crowd and just kind of says, "Hi, everyone," and waits for them. And, and they'll probably scatter at that point, and she'll just be like, "Oh, I wonder what that was about."
All right. So after you all find each other and consult one of the janitors, we'll just say it's Sparkles, because, the mainstay, just being like, "Oh, you're looking to go to that place, huh? Okay, well, let me get the door open for you." And with a snap of their fingers, a nearby door just opens up, and you can hear the sound of just a boisterous sort of crowd as the doorway leads into a location I was trying to come up with a name of. I have two names for it. We got the shopping multiplane or the multiplanar shopping center, one of the two. But yes, it is MALL-to-planar location there. Yes,
I like them. I think I like the second one a little more.
Yeah, the multiplanar shopping center. Yes, it's the interplanar shopping center for basically various outsiders to engage in shopping in one convenient location. It has all of your favorites. And I have a bunch of store names listed here for y'all to work off of. But yes, to get presents for your warlocks, you're off. You're going to the mall to go shopping.
Oh, Gambella knows what she's looking for.
Uh-huh.
She's got a thing in mind. She's looking to wedge as many cheap bits of luck related tat together as possible. Things that she knows won't actually impact any of these rolls, but here's what I'm picturing. Lucky rabbit's foot, but there's a 4-leaf clover between two of the toes. Mm-hmm. There's also a penny between two of the toes, lucky penny. Mm-hmm. Maybe two of the toes have got a birthday candle between them because birthday candle, wish for better luck. It's how many things can I wedge together to go, This is just an amalgamation of definitely lucky things.
All right. Well, lucky for you, I got a handful of stores I could list off right away for you to choose between here.
Ooh.
All right, so we got a basic one, Lucky's Loot Boxes, loot spelled Lute, so loot boxes there. We got Fey to Win, Fey to win. That's for the the Feywild related stuff there, and then of course everyone's favorite surprised round mechanics, which is but those are a handful of the luck adjacent stores that you can see on the map for the mall. The mall is irresponsibly large. We're talking like hundreds of stores. Thankfully, there's a lot of shortcuts to get to where you need.
Look, all of those sound very good, but Fey to Win is the one that sort of tickles me. Fey to Win seems like it's got the vibe I'm looking for.
It's so good. It's just like, oh, you just buy a thing, and then you realize you're really in for it now.
I will say this: if you go to Fey to Win, do not try any of the samples in there, because if you do, then all other food tastes kind of terrible for a while when you come back.
Oh no! Don't worry. I'm well aware in what not to do to not get sucked in. Look, you think you're going to sucker me in? I wrote the book on all of these things many thousands of years ago. I perfected these arts.
I'm the one who invented the user and license agreement. Thank you.
Oh gosh, there should have been a EULA joke somewhere. That would have been pretty good.
You didn't.
But okay, let's just go ahead and get started with the group going to Fey to Win.
Right. You both, thank you for coming along. Do not accept the one free box opening they offer as like, oh, you come in the door, see what you get free in the box. Like, that's how they get you. They get you on the way in, they're going to offer you the mystery box. It's going to have something really good in it, and then they're going to say, do you want to pay to open another box? We've done this dance before. Just whatever you do, don't open the free box.
I think I opened the box once upon a time, and I don't really know what happened. Someone kept calling me, and I never really understood it. I thought it was a prank.
There's a sign on the window for Fey to Win that even has the advertisements for like how many pulls for certain monetary values. I will not even ask for Gambella to roll for this, because Gambella will just know automatically. The numbers actually don't add up correctly, where if you pay more, you're getting actually less pulls per gold piece than if you're just paying for the individuals. It's that sort of reverse bundling.
No, it's one of those things where like some of them are listed like directly in the main currency, but some of them are listed in like obfuscated additional currencies, and as such like you can't work out that you're actually spending more because like they've shown you a smaller number of a bigger currency.
Right. This is also why Fey to Win has the sister store next to it, Gotcha Now, which is its own little. They're both the same company, but they brand themselves so differently to make people not realize they're two different they're the same storefront.
Gotcha Now just like chops all of their items up into thirds and makes you like get all three of the pieces separately.
May I pitch a store name?
Go ahead.
Eucalyptus.
Ooh, there he goes. I was trying to think like endless user luck arrangement,
There you go. There you go.
But anyway, any number you can venture into Fey to Win to help Gambella get an item for their Warlock.
Sure, I'll come too.
All right.
Josephine will go along and compare her glow to the Fey glow and see whose is prettier.
Well, it depends. Your glow is pretty good. I mean, it's an S rank, but it's not a double S rank glow, as you can see from this one item there on the wall. It just happens to look more glowy. That's just because they added a video effect on front of the glow between it and you to make it look more present than it really is. It's the same skin as the S rank glow. This is what I get from playing just enough of these games to know how they just do the simplest bullshit.
Yeah.
But yes, as you're all in here, I will just let's just kind of do a little fun thing. I want everyone just roll a wisdom check for me real quick.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Josephine rolls with disadvantage. Gambella rolls with advantage. Let's see what we got here.
Yep. I knew what I was getting into with this.
A 9 with advantage. It's a little below average, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. See, Jane, we got a 12 from you. Yep. And fortunately for Josephine, what we got here?
I rolled an 18. Then I rolled a 2, so that adds up to 20, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm going to say between the three of you, Josephine is unfortunately the one that's sort of the most drawn by the wings in particular.
Is anyone surprised?
I will say this. You're like, well, those look okay, but they don't have tentacles. And then they turn to the left and like, oh, wait, no, those are the tentacle wings there.
She's basically like halfway between just like admiring things, wanting to try things on, but also at the same time grandstanding and wanting and on being on the verge of like cutting a promo about how to actually have like a proper beautiful glow and like that kind of thing. And she's just kind of like swapping between like all of these dispositions in rapid succession and not really paying attention to what anyone else is saying.
Gambella's gonna run over and shove a sheet of paper in front of your face, which is just like all of the very simplified ways that like this shop is going to try and scam you, to just try and be like, nope, look at the numbers. These are the numbers they don't show you. These are the raw data.
Oh,
Stop
your
it.
handwriting is so wonderful. You must put a lot of practice into it.
Yes, and it's writing about how you're gonna get scammed by the very things I do.
She'll take the paper. She'll take the paper and just kind of wander away, trying to understand it and failing.
I mean, look, it's not my problem if you go bankrupt. That's not on me.
I will say the other thing that's really important is that before you even touch any of the items, there's at least 3 pop-up ads for the other, luck-related stores.
Yeah. They've already given me like a free item that's part of a set. Like, oh, it's a free card from this collection, but you have to go buy that collection now because you have one card from it, and like it would be a waste to not have the collection it goes in.
I believe for Beryl, it's sort of like I'm trying to think of what ads Beryl would be seeing while in the store.
Beryl heard about the free loot boxes, and she's now scanning around looking for someone to offer her one. She's looking much smaller than she did when she were hanging out in the office. She looks more frail, more shaky, but she just has one hand in the knitting bag of holding.
All right. So the knitting bag of holding.
Yeah, I caught that. That's good.
I was like, so in investigating inside of here, Gambella, you will probably come across one of the merchants, who's like, hello and welcome to Fade to Win. Do you care to try your luck with our famous top-tier heroes of the plane?
Oh, famous! I get it!
Look. I don't know, how long have you worked here, out of curiosity? How long have you been in the Fade to Win game?
Listen, I'm about to have my 2-month anniversary, just to let you know.
Okay. Most of the things in your rulebook are things I came up with. I have spent the last, I've lost count of how many thousand years, perfecting the art of scamming people out of their funds. I am looking for some silly little nonsense tat that's going to make someone think they're having a very lucky day and make them very happy because like, oh, it's all the things that people think are lucky. You are either going to help me or I'm just going to walk away because I am not engaging with any of the nonsense that I know is nonsense because I came up with it.
Okay, well, I can give you some advice, but before I do, let me tell you about a really interesting opportunity that we have in our other...
Nope, skip. Skip dialogue, skip.
Surely you've got to wait 5 seconds for that.
Fine, I'll wait the customary 30 seconds until the skip button arrives.
I'm going to show you a picture of a grid of items. I need you to point to the ones that are crossroads.
6, 7. Okay, here's the crossroads. There. 11, 12, 13, 14. Did you have anything else you wanted to say to me while I'm stuck waiting?
No.
16.
Was it?
Prove you're not a Modron.
Proving out a Motron. But
Okay, you're up to 27, 28, 20. Skip.
all right.
Skip.
And finally, the merchant is just like, sure. I think, yeah, if you look over there, we have our merch store. Normally we sell stuff like, t-shirts, hats, items that do not track our customers. We are legally say that they just allow, or you're legally compelled to say they don't track the customers. They track the clothing item that happens to be worn by the customer. Okay, we do not engage in passive data collection. All right, maybe active.
Yes, I know the drill. You're definitely not selling it off to third parties for advertising funds. I get the drill.
Well, I will say this: we do have some trinkets in there that we sell for, just like you said, makes people feel like they're going to win more. And honestly, some of them, when you get them, you get an extra bit of currency. So if you buy that one there, the blue rabbit foot there, you will get
Nope. Look, you've pointed me towards this one, and that tells me that is exactly the one I don't want to get, because that one is. Look, let me look up the tables. I don't know what it is that is wrong with this one, but I know to not go for the one you're recommending me.
You look at that one there, you'll notice that it comes with a special coupon: buy two get one gems.
Yeah. Gambella's very specifically like. Looks at this cabinet full of things and goes, okay. Crouches down and looks like underneath the shelf to be like, look, legally they have to offer this option, but they're gonna hide it away.
Right.
And finds just the plain lucky rabbit's foot that doesn't have any of the nonsense attached to it.
All right. Go ahead and roll an intelligence check for me with advantage in this case here.
Sure. 10, thankfully. The first roll was a botch.
Yeah, so with the 10... and
thank you, advantage.
with your 10, and with just like because I'm assuming that basically all the rolls here have like plus 10s and other stuff attached to them there. So like a 10, it's completely fine. You see stuff that looks completely fine, and then you realize that in this rabbit foot, the fine print's written on each individual like follicle of fur on there. Like, it requires a specific microscope to read, which they do sell, but again, it's just like...
Yeah, it's one of these where it's like, look, I understand what you're doing, I just... No thank you, none of this nonsense, I just want the item and to get the hell out of here. This place is tacky, it is terrible, that's only good when I do it.
Right. And speaking about tacky and good, you're able to accrue a couple of items from here. You might find some other things elsewhere along the way, but for the immediate, we'll say that Gambella has accomplished their initial quest of finding some kitschy, like, trying to think of some tat for Clarissa.
I'm thinking of a gold-plated 4-leaf clover shamrock kind of ensemble that Josephine kind of finds and tries to wear before it's taken away and said no.
I will say though, Josephine, you're going to have to give me an intelligence check of your own. Just a flat intelligence check for me real quick here.
All right. Surprising some, not my dumb stat.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Just a D20.
We'll see how this goes, though. Hey, there we go.
So what was that result?
13.
Okay, you avoid signing up for an account. That's basically what I was doing there, because you somehow avoid actually making a free account.
Look, if they try and sign you up for an account, but you can't remember your email address.
Email, what's that?
Okay, so
basically, I'm kind of operating on Bob and George logic. I'm too stupid to lose.
So with that, gosh, this whole quarter. By the way, yes, as you would expect, there are certain people here that you can tell are propping the entire store with their particular wallets. They got.
Oh.
They're.
Yeah, I think on the way out, Gambella, I think, is gonna just pass a couple of them business cards on the way out. Be like, "Are you looking for a patron?"
Please tell me that Gambella's business card has the mascot of a herd of whales.
I mean, I think it'd be a little bit more subtle than that. I think it might be like, look, you might have like a wild magic slot machine and all of the slots have come up whale, but like you've got to integrate the whales in a way that isn't obvious.
I would like to think that the business cards show like little puzzles being solved really poorly by someone on it, and just like, think you have what it takes? Let me be your patron. It's just the ebony it's just all over the place.
Lastly, Gambella does pay cash for these trinkets so that she can get a penny in change to add into the collection. There's definitely a lucky penny that was found by random chance.
Right. Yeah. Like, gosh.
From a fee agreement that just happened to occur over there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, the lot of you will move out back into the main body of the mall. There's, obviously lots of crowds going on. You notice across the way, there's a couple of shops in particular. One is Scambercrombie and Fiends. Right nearby, Hell Ridges, and also Less Evil Walmart, surprisingly, is here. But
not evil, just less evil.
Right. Let's not make up some fantasy world here, okay? It's less.
Ooh, I thought of another store name. Mm-hmm. Godly Pull of the Whale.
Mm-hmm. Godly Pull of the Whale's pretty good. But yes,
very specific people are going to laugh at that one.
All right. Well, with that being said, let's see here. So, Beryl, you mentioned like you're a different size than you were at the university and such like that. What's going on there?
She was just trying to intimidate one of the store staff. But no one approached her, so it's okay.
It's okay. No one, no one approached you. You might have gotten somebody saying that one of your relatives had passed away, and you might be due to an investment. They just need you to set up a money transfer for them and stuff like that. Standard sort of phishing scams being tried to pull on the eldest looking member of the group. They don't seem turned away by the tentacles. They just see.
Well, the tentacles are hidden right now. She's just being a little old lady. She was hoping for one of those free loot boxes.
Well, you
could go ask for a free loot box before you leave.
I'm pretty sure that you can get one. Go ahead and just roll. Let's go ahead and roll let's see here. Let's do just a. Do you want to make this a charisma roll or just a straight D20 roll for what you get out of the loot box? Or actually, no.
She's not going to open it.
Oh, she's not going to open it?
She's going to offer an exchange. If someone hands her a box, she's going to hand them a similar box. It's wrapped in something that's maybe leather. It's maybe a bit more fleshy than you might expect from a box. Oh, there you go, dear. Just as a little treat. Just something for you. A fair exchange, don't you think?
Thank you. Is it okay if I open it now?
Oh, please do.
All right. Well, the employee that you handed the box to just gleefully opens it unwittingly. What happened?
It's bigger on the inside. On the inside. There's this constantly expanding fractal pattern that just seems to just like suck their concentration in, and slowly you sort of watch them wither slightly. Surprise!
Wow, that's a pretty good pull there. How much do I have to pay to get another one of those?
She's gonna just reach into the knitting bag of holding again and pull out a similar, slightly fleshy box. This one's dripping a bit. And
oh, wow.
If this person was able to look away from the weird fractal pattern that they're currently staring into at the moment, like an infinity cube, they'd notice that now she's got like 8 eyes, like a spider, that are all blinking completely black.
I do think let me just roll for them real quick here. Let's do a quick. They rolled a 7. They are just lost in the box there. They're at the very least going to miss their lunch break at this rate here. Just being lost in here.
Excellent. She's going to hand them the other box that is slightly squishy. If they get round to opening it at some point, they will find that it's full of far too many spiders.
Oh, wow. Such good value. That's very generous of you.
You should consider a different patron. We're very, very generous round my side. We'll keep you going for eternity.
The recruiting campaign is great. So yes, with some tat acquired and a possible new member of the family acquired,
One of us.
one of us.
I like to imagine that, like, during, like, the duller moments, like, when Gambella is not trying to keep Josephine basically on a leash to get into shit she shouldn't be, Josephine is just, like, kind of holding up, like, various, like, little trinkets or, like, accessories towards Beryl and just being like, oh, it's so pretty on you.
It's not really my style, and pretty, not really my thing. I prefer, unassuming. No one expects the worst. But the worst is always there, surprising you. You think, oh, just a nice old lady, maybe we'll have some tea and cake and crumpets and things like that, and before you know it, they're sobbing into infinity. Or chanting. Oh, I love a good chant.
You have interesting fashion sense, and I will do my best for you.
Speaking of chanting, on the way out, you might notice a small contingency of employees who kind of circled around those boxes that Beryl has offered up, and just all of them are kind of staring into it, including the manager. The manager is not even safe from this.
Excellent.
All right. Well, one store corrupted. Excellent. Let's see where else we can get going here. So we got one present sorted. We got to find some others, and it looks to be like the lunch rush at some point. So the crowds are a little bit denser as you're trying to navigate through the store. But who wants to try their luck at finding something for their lucky little warlocks?
Trying their luck, you say? Is there by any chance an Eldritch Farms anywhere?
Eldritch what?
Eldritch Farms.
Eldritch Farms. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't have a lot of Eldritch store names written down here, but I will point out here that in your information you wrote up for me, Jane, I like your note about who the big man's name is. You mind if I say it out loud?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd just like to hear that your character works below Clive, which is Cthulhu's real name. He just gets really phlegmy when he just is woken up and everything sounds a bit weird and people just went with it there. So, like...
You know how it is. You just wake up first thing in the morning and, who are you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds like Monday.
Hello.
I realize...
It's me, Clive.
I realized that Scambercrombie and Fiends could have also been Eldritch Crombie and Fitch as another option there. There could have been another one. Just like Eldritch Fashion. Just an Eldritch... There's like...
Dagon Go.
Dagon Go. But yes, there are different Eldritch adjacent stores and such that you could find.
Which one
as
the
you're
most cursed?
The most cursed one.
Yeah.
Interesting there. Well, there's many ways to go with that there.
Cursed to wear.
Well, that's a good Cursed to Wear is a pretty good name there. What I would like to think about this is that you start going down, and the mall looks kind of like, an 80s, 90s era mall for the most part. But as you go down one line of stores, there's like this weird tendril-like growth that kind of wraps over the windows of one of the stores, and like just what appears to be a blank void with no signage and a line of people just going in. And I'll say for you, Beryl, there's a really good energy coming from that place.
I've got a good feeling about this one.
Well, I mean, it's a bit of a wait. Are you sure this is the one you want?
Don't worry, I think I can probably get us right in there. She's certainly much taller than she was before. If anything, she's almost like raised herself up on her tentacles and is sort of walking along on what have gone from being two tentacles that are quite chubby to lots of thin, almost spider-leggy ones, but still hose-like and fleshy and muscular.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's really neat. You'll have to show me how to do that sometime.
You just have to lose your mind completely and then channel that energy into the true darkness. Clive's rather generous with the tentacles, actually.
Some people keep telling me I've already lost my mind. I don't really understand.
Oh, we'll see if we've got it out back.
I'd appreciate that. I hate to lose it.
All right, so you approach the store, and there's obviously like an employee kind of tending to the line. It's a weird thing. They look both very mundane with like the polo khaki sort of attire, but the limbs are all tentacles coming out from the polo and the khakis there, as you would expect. And they see you approach, just like, hey there, there is a line that we have for the place here, and I understand you're excited, but, we can't take too many people in at once.
A line, you say? And does that line veer off but never actually seem to quite get further apart or closer together?
Once you get into the darkness, yeah, that's kind of the plan. It's really, it's great. Once you get them in there, you hold them until they lose sense of time, and then they start questioning their own reality. It's really cool.
Now you're talking my language.
Yeah.
So, where's the real entrance?
Oh, yeah. Oh, the real entrance. I mean, that's that door over there.
Excellent. This way, everybody.
Yeah, there's like
You are doing excellent work. Clive is going to be so happy with you.
Oh, you know Clive?
Oh, yes. He's... I was going to say my boss, but almost more of a brother figure, we're tight.
Sweet. Well, tell him I'm doing the good work down here.
Oh, yes, I'll put in a good word for you.
Yeah. So like there's the store next to it, which is like the black body radiation topic, between there and this particular store, there's just like a mundane door that's unmarked. And when Beryl leads everyone there and opens it, it just reveals the actual inside of the store itself, where when you look in, the abyss to the right just leads to nothing. It's just a wall. So,
As you do.
Now, if you're going to look into the void, do give him a wink. Nice smile. Plays to be kind,
Mm-hmm. Yes. I mean, I was going to joke and say this place is the void, but then I'm reminded of the VR facilities that went out of business, including one over at Disney Spring. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Now it's more like a void.
A void, yes. This is just a void, right? It's not the void. It's just a void. But
it's a franchise, you see.
Exactly. Listen, they have many locations, none of which are comprehensible on a map. So you're all led into here.
At least we know what they sign upon all of the checks. Void.
The pay is great if you don't like getting paid. But yes, in there, what would you imagine the inside of this store having?
I imagine it's something like the facehugger eggs from Alien. As you walk past, they sort of split open with sort of slimy goo. Occasionally bits retract back, and you look within, and it is just this roiling mass of stock.
Josephine will bend down and look right down into one. Ooh, what's this?
Do a let's see here. So just give me a charisma
Dexterity
check.
to avoid the tentacles.
Was it dexterity? Yeah, dexterity to avoid the tentacles. Let's see what happens here.
Do you want me to do both of those?
Let's do dexterity to see if you avoid the tentacles first. What do you got there?
10.
You're fine. They might graze up against your own tentacles and reel back slightly at the celestial nature of them a little bit, but you don't get captured. Now it's probably
ooh, they tingle.
Roll me charisma to with your. Well then, go ahead and tell me what you got there.
16 and then 20.
So with a natural 20, you stare into this abyss and you do not lose any part of your sanity in the process. Your force of personality is strong enough that you just sort of stare in there, and it's more like the inverse. It stares into the void that is you, and you stare back for a moment, and it's very complacent.
I'm used to being stared at, and yeah, the void sounds about right.
Stared into is fine. It's when they start shouting into you.
Well, then I'll just tell them to be quiet. I need quiet, you know? No, it needs to, you can't have too much chatter going on upstairs.
But yes, tentacles aside, the store seems to be very well acclimated to to Josephene. But yes, what are you looking for within this great store here, Bear?
Is that actually a problem, considering like the nature of this place and the fact that she is a celestial? Is she just lit up like a beacon in more ways than one? Like more than just physically?
I mean, it's like, listen, okay, you walked into a room that's mostly dimly lit. You just turned on the light that's a bit too bright. The problem is that like I don't think people are put off by it, but they're just sort of like, oh, that's weird.
There's unspeakable abominations just putting on sunglasses.
Yes.
Ah.
The void.
You've got the vibe of like if a goth walked into a Hot Topic and everyone's just going to be like, I mean, it's fine that you're here, but like you feel a bit out of place.
Yeah. The void puts on sunglasses somehow, you know. But
That sounds about right.
All right, Beryl. So what brings you here? Yeah.
She's looking for a spine from the tail of Tiamat, which will make the perfect needle for tattooing.
Oh. Well, you're in luck. They just happen to have the last one in stock that they have on display, at least. However, upon investigating it, it does look like they're asking for a bit higher of a price than they probably should for, Tiamat, but the Tiamat spine bones, they're good, but they're not that rare. Let's be honest here. How many spines can Tiamat have actually,
It's about a bit, that one, yes. Look, you're definitely overcharging for that. I mean, I could probably go and get you a few of those disciples back from the Lucky What's-It shop. Maybe that'd do. Do you want some corrupted minds?
Corrupted minds would be pretty good, but
some screaming knitting.
Screaming knitting. That's a pretty nice vibe there. Yeah. So you're getting the merchant to sort of like, consider a bit. Go ahead and roll me charisma on that as you're trying to persuade in the ways of this.
14 and a 12, so 14.
14 is great. Yeah. So the negotiations take a little while. Like this is one of those cases where it takes a little bit of haggling up and down. And it's almost, I was just like, you haggle up until the price overflows back down to a lower value somehow. I don't know. The register can only count so many souls before it is unable to deal with it. It's unsigned souls tracker here. It can't do negative souls. So eventually you're able to negotiate accordingly that the souls that you have been starting to wrap in from Fade to Win might be legal tenure. Also, it means they get more employees here, that they don't have to run through Eldritch resources there. So
she's gonna like reach into her chest and like basically open her entire front like a gaping maw that's full of teeth and void, and just suck the souls across from the other store.
Yeah, you do that, and like what happens is that in Fade to Win, you see these shopkeepers just sort of gathered around the two boxes, and then all of a sudden, like their physical beings just sort of get sucked away. Pile of clothes lands on the ground, and it looks kind of unsettling. Before less than 5 minutes later, those clothes seem to have new people in there. Ready to do the good work of running people through 13 unskippable ads and Ario Modron checks to make sure they buy their next loot box accordingly.
They look almost the same as the people that left, but uncannily different.
Exactly. Right. The uncanny part, it's not that they look the same, it's that they look different somehow.
But no one can quite describe how.
Exactly. Gosh, I'm just thinking how to the ads for those games where they have like the fake influencers in them, and it's just that's the kind of uncanny I'm thinking of, just like the fake influencer being excited about a random pull for Legend of Legend of I'm trying to think of like a fake mobile game there.
Battle of Teams.
Battle of Teams. I was gonna say World of Franks. That's another good one there. It's just you're just a bunch of guys named Frank.
Clash of Gems.
Clash of Gems, pretty good.
I'll get back to you.
All right, but anyway, all that is happening there while that's there. So while Josephine is
Fan
having a
service
hysterical
fantasy.
What?
Fan service fantasy.
Fan service fantasy. Nice.
I know my territory.
Yeah. So while Josephine stares to the void and Beryl negotiates, what is Gambella doing while in void?
I think Gambella is taking the opportunity of it being quiet in the void to just take a moment to start preparing the spiel, because I think she's already thinking about, like, when I go and bring this gift back to my Warlock, what is the sell so that, like, this isn't expected again, that, like, this is a one-off reward, but, like, maybe it could happen again, but also you're not going to be disappointed if it doesn't happen again. So yeah, she's literally just, like, taking the quiet to be like, okay, this is not a recurrent reward, this is a one-off, but there might be other one-offs, but I can't tell you about the conditions for those, because the fun is in the discovery, something like this.
This is the secret blind box within a blind box.
Right.
Yeah.
The double secret blind box. Go ahead and roll me intelligence as you kind of work through this in your head and try to come up with the copy there.
It's a 12.
12 is completely fine.
No, it's above average. It's good enough. It's like, yeah, this is a one-time sign-in bonus reward, and maybe there's another sign-in bonus reward down the line. But like, maybe we sort of, I imply that it's maybe around the 6 years, 6 months, 6 days mark. But then if we get to there and they haven't got it, I'm like, it was, you looked at it upside down, it was 999, and I can string that out for a while.
The hold your horses box is just like, listen, this is just one. Don't expect more than this, but maybe there will be, but don't expect it. But maybe don't. All right.
There might be after you flip the number over, you might find something behind a door.
Oh no! I've got it. What was it? It was right. Every day for the rest of your life could be the day that you finally reach the next successful login bonus milestone. Mm-hmm. Just every day, wake up knowing that this might be the day. That as long as you should never stop making the random pulls, because what if today's the day that you get that next big reward?
Gosh, the easiest and most dystopian alternate reality game, just like the AGR, just logging in every day because you might solve it. You might solve it by doing nothing.
Yeah. I mean, that's just being a VTuber.
All right. So, is there any other interactions that you'd like to do with the store here, Beryl, before we move on?
You've done good work here today, and I hope you enjoy your new acolytes. I'll obviously put in a good word for you with the boss. And nice work. And yeah, I love what you've done with the void. I like the way it murmurs. It's not too much, but it's as a franchisee, I think you've done very well.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time. The Murmzak tracks that we initially got were just a little bit too much, so we kind of dialed them back just a little bit to make it even more subliminal. And I think it really sits well. And you see our retention, you see our return customers. They return, they can't even see the door anymore, so they go through the void. And there, you got them.
It's glorious. I love what you've done with the place. The secret entrance for the casuals, great. I love the work you've done here. Have you ever considered maybe one of those nice tomes? You get the tome and it's could it be anything? There's a weird symbol on it. Maybe you've just made it up. You should probably talk to these two. These are quite good at just destroying people's mind with random chance that isn't actually random. I think I'm starting to think perhaps we could learn something from these two.
I'm thinking we could hand that out as like pamphlets in the food court, and that might get some extra customers. That might be a good idea. Yeah.
Yes. Suggested it's a random chance thing. Maybe there's a lucky draw every day. They just come into the void.
Look, don't muscle too much in on my thing. This is my thing. I don't muscle in on being eldritch and terrifying.
Well, maybe you should. People like tentacles. I'm sure.
Look, they make an effective punishment. I'll give you that. But again, look, you've got to have your own angle on it. Don't come muscling in. Well, okay, fine. I'm not going to tell you the research though. The spreadsheets I've got going, you can give it a go, but yeah, you ain't got the numbers I got.
Mine are for punishment unless they ask for it.
Well, if there's one thing I've noticed about acolytes, apart from the chanting, they do love a little bit of punishment. It's all purely consensual.
Look, that's what I've built my whole thing on is, if you just give them the reward after reward after reward, they get bored. They need the risk, that maybe it's going to go right, maybe it's going to go wrong. They need a little bit of punishment every now and then so that the reward feels all the sweeter.
Well, that's where the endless hypnotic chanting comes in, you see.
Exactly.
Yeah, the hypnotic chanting. We do that at the top of every hour, and it gets people's line really settled in and ready for the endless abyss of the unmoving,
I love the unmoving. It's great. Nothing like a queue that just sort of wraps entirely around the block and never actually gets anywhere.
Listen, nobody does queuing better than us.
I like to imagine the camera pans over to Josephine at this moment, who is humming along to the chanting, not understanding the lyrics.
All right. Some fun. I'm having so much fun just kind of describing the insanity of these stores here. I actually had ideas for tattoo parlors along the way there. I have one called Ink and You'll Miss It. And another one called Your Body, Your Canvas. But yes, those are, but
Crimes with the Heart of Gold.
I'm also just reminded of that one Simpsons episode of Bart getting a tattoo that just says moth on it because of the whole circumstance there. But but yeah, so with that, the party has negotiated a void, independently owned sub-franchisees of the Void, There's the headquarters. This is just one of the branch companies. If you leave or when you leave, you'll notice that the line has moved. There's, different people in the line, and some of them have just gone into the abyss and have not returned yet. So.
Oh, you'll love it in there. It's brilliant. I went last week, and the chanting's to die for. Also the cake.
Cake is good.
Don't have the cake. You don't want the cake. Unless...
But I have the cake, or at least that's what they tell me.
The cake has an imperceptible number of layers in it. If you try to figure out how many layers it has, that's when the problems begin.
The closer you get to the corner of the cake, the more it spreads apart somehow. And yet...
On the plus side, it has a nice buttercream frosting on there. It's just, that is delectable.
Courtesy of Granny.
Just a bunch of eldritch grannies just being perfect and just luring people in. Fantastic. So, all right. So you've escaped from the void by just walking casually out the plainly marked door. And the mall continues to be busy with a bunch of actions going on there. I suppose that the main person we have left to deal with is Josephine, who needs to hopefully find some trading cards effectively.
Mm-hmm. So seeing as how what she's looking for is in the sports-related territory, it kind of makes sense to go to like a sports store or something like that. And she'll undoubtedly get distracted by like all kinds of, various sporting goods and whatnot. And, it's like, ooh, these are baseball bats. They're shiny. Look at the wood on this. They polish it so nice. This hockey mask looks really intimidating.
The blood decor on it is just really subtle. It's, it comes with this matching hatchet, just really nice. There's a couple of store options I've listed here. We have bed, bocce, and beyond. Oddly, overly specific there. Conspicuous collectibles, Nada games. That one's a one for me there. You'll see like items on the Nada Games like storefront that are like oddly highly rated and priced way beyond what they should be. Like very conventional sporting items that are just charged up way too much. Not sure what's going on there. But yes, what store do you go to find something for Stephen Eldraine?
Well, Josephine looks at bed, bocce, and beyond and concludes that sounds a little too personal to her life, given the way things have gone. So she's going to opt to not go there and go for Nada Games instead.
Fantastic. All right. So Nada Games is part of a series of auction-related stores. In fact, as you go in, you can actually see like a little corner of the store with some auctions going on. They have a mint gem, like a mint gem instruction manual up for some unreasonable amount of money. Those in the know would know that this is actually a pretty common item, but it's just somehow rated mint gem, despite the fact that the cover's torn slightly. I don't know what's going on there, but
I think it's because it smells like mint.
But yes, in here you'll see a bunch of collectible items related to all games-related things. Sports, gambling, tabletop, anything else related. Every item is sealed in a little little plastic case with a rating grade on it,
So everything is really shiny and holds her attention really well until it doesn't, which does not take long, especially if there's something else that's shiny in her periphery. Mm-hmm. And before long, she's undoubtedly going to get approached by someone looking to make a commission.
Oh, absolutely. There's just like, hey there, ma'am. Can I interest you in something here?
Hello there. Well, I was looking to pick up a present for my boy. See, his other mom used to be a champion bocce ball player, and I'm told that they made some playing cards of her or something. And so he would like to have a sample of that card. She's a little embarrassed about it. It sounds like it was quite a time ago. She was so much younger then. And, well, I'm not so good at finding this kind of thing, but maybe you could help me.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. Let's go to the drawers here. And you get led over to one of the shelves, and there's just like stacks of just drawers. One gets kind of unlocked and pulled open. There's a series of sports related. There's a baseball, basketball, bowling. Oh no, a little bit back, a little bit bocce. Okay, and then just flipping through a bunch of little plastic containers containing individual cards. All of them highly rated, at least 9 to 9.5, a few 10s and such. And
oh, Judith is totally a 10.
The ratings for the quality of the card, not the depiction of the person on the card, just to let you know. Speaking of Judith, here we go. And they pull out a little plastic case, and on there you see like a depiction of your character's wife, or not wife. The other. I'm trying to think there how the best way to describe it. The
other mother.
The other mother, Judith. Varsity jacket for Ohio State, all that good stuff. And it has a little rating on there, near mint, 9.5, or either like, yes, it's near mint, 9.5, and it has a pretty costly sticker price on there as well.
So she doesn't even look too much at the sticker price. She just opens up her, her shiny bag, which, has a golden glow inside of it, and pulls out a heavenly artifact and just puts it on the table. I'll take it.
Oh, let me see here. Picks up the artifact, looks at it, murmurs a little bit to themselves about like, okay, let's see here. I think if I take it for this amount, I can try to turn around and say that's a different artifact. Okay, so they just sort of murmur under their breath a little bit. If you want to try to listen to what they're saying, you can attempt to, but
oh, we know how this is gonna go.
Go ahead and roll me that wisdom check there.
Oh wow.
Okay, so what did you roll?
I rolled double 11s, so I rolled
case
doubled
of
ones twice.
Okay, so with that,
if there's one thing you can't, there's many things you can call Josephine, but inconsistent is not one of them.
Yeah, so you're actually able to kind of pick up what they're murmuring. They're basically saying things along the lines, okay, I can take this in, and then let's see if I say it's this instead, or maybe change this about it. I could probably.
But it's not that. It's this.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course. Just had a little random thought, but yeah, this should work completely fine. And they accept the relic and offer you the card in the plastic case. Meanwhile, what are the other patrons doing, observing things inside of this, basically this hall of speculative value, effectively?
Gambella is looking around for anything that might make like a fun. What if I hid this somewhere in your room and you like opened a drawer and oh, well, what was this unexpected find? Oh, I must have been real good today. Like something that's like not such a big reward, but like enough of one to be like, oh, that's a nice little physical thing I have now.
I'm pretty sure there's like some uncommon rarity holodeck adjacent cards kind of in the space there,
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be something like you know what it is. It's a holodeck card that like has a mechanic around some kind of roulette mechanic, some kind of random chance mechanic. It's like the roulette tarantula, and it's a tarantula with a big roulette wheel on its back.
The roulettula, got it. Yes.
Yeah, the roulettula.
Yes.
And it's like it's just enough of a shiny rarity that it's like not expensive, but like it'll be clear it's from Gambella, and it'll be like, oh, it's a gift that's perfectly like I could put it in my wallet size in one of the credit card holders and just like carry this little gift of my patron with me and remind myself every time I go to pay for something, oh yes, my patron who I love.
Yeah, you find actually a good number of them at varying qualities. It's not too hard to find one that's not too expensive to get because you can get one that's like it doesn't have to be like a mint copy. It just has to be a good copy. Well,
that's it. Like, look, I've got to have room to like replace it with a better quality one later, so that like I can't just go straight in at the best.
Well, that's
nowhere to go but up.
What's happening? I think. I have an idea of something for Beryl to be noticing in the auction side of the store. There's one of the items goes up on the block, and it's just a plastic box with like what seems to be nothing in the inside. And the auctioneer says something along the lines of, "Okay, the next item on our docket is the intangible soul of is this intangible soul." We have rated it as a mint gem 10. So this is a pristine soul in this case here. Has not escaped yet and can be yours today. Do I hear any offers? As the auction off just what appears to be a soul in a plastic box. That's
Beryl is moving through the crowd somehow, even though no one is moving to make way for her. Mm-hmm. And she's also seemingly not walking, she just glides forward.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna just start sniffing around the box to basically to check its authenticity.
Good. Go ahead and just give me a straight just give me a wisdom roll here to perceive the soul in the box here.
A 3.
All right. So unfortunately, you're not able to you're able to perceive that something is off about it, but you're not sure what is off about it there. But people around you do begin to start do begin to start bidding on the box itself. So at the very least, you're able to detect there's something like even inside of vessels like this, you know how souls feel like when you're around them. This doesn't quite feel like that, but you just don't know why it doesn't feel like that. As you investigate the scene there, is there anything else you want to do to either interfere with or just engage with the auction that goes on?
Am I getting any sense of magic or chaos or anything that she might be into?
That's a very good question to ask, and the answer is yes and yes. If you open up your senses to like the environment around you, you're detecting more magic than you should be detecting in a place like this. Including like the perimeter of the box itself. And in terms of chaos, I would say that if you were to look at one of the other nearby items somebody's holding, there is sort of a moment where the item inside of the container appears different when you look at it different. It's almost like it's hollow foiled, but instead of being the hollow foil of like a single card, it's, if you look at a different angle, the hollow foil almost like is like a glamour shifting between different cards depending on what angle you're looking at.
Okay, so what you're telling me, in a room full of graded collectible cards, the magic is gathering.
Yes, the magic has been gathered, but those are some clues you can kind of pick up while investigating this particular portion of the auction house store.
Okay, I think because Beryl is unsure about this, she's going to watch the crowd as they're bidding, and if things start to slow down bidding-wise, she's just going to slip in a couple of bids in the hopes of driving the price up deliberately to annoy people, but not necessarily trying to win.
Right. There is a small number of people who are bidding on the item. In fact, there's like one or two that seem to, upon investigation, look like that they're wearing jackets over what might be shirts that indicate that they're employees of the store itself while bidding on the item. Not sure how that might be legal anyway, but anyways, they could. But you do interfere with the bidding process and engage in driving up the price of this soul in a box, to the point that when one of the patrons is able to secure a winning bid, they give you a little bit of a, I wouldn't say like a side eye, but they do like look with a little bit of annoyance because they were sitting at a nice lower bid of only like a few hundred gold, and now they have to pay like 2,000 gold for this, mint gem soul in a box.
So have they like taken the item, having won it?
If you wait and don't interfere, they will go up and receive the item they'll receive the box itself and take it with them back to where they were seated.
She's gonna slide over and oh, you just pipped me to the post there. I've got to say that you put up a good fight. I must bow to your superior bidding skills.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, listen, I saw this, and I'm normally not too into these particular items, but you see something that is this pristine and still in its packaging like this, and if I hold on to it for like a couple of decades, it's got to get higher in value down the line, right?
Oh yes, absolutely. I mean, if you wouldn't want to crack the box or anything like that. Although I do hear that you have to be very careful to keep them out of too much heat, or sometimes the backing plastic just falls off.
You're acting like this is the first time I've engaged in collectibles like this. I'll let you know that I have several perfectly sealed items of historical importance at my house, and this is just going to be another item for the bin. I haven't had a soul in the place yet. I'm just going to go right on the mantle, not by the fire, on the other wall away from the fire, so I can just look at it while I'm sitting in my chair.
See him sit looking at the fire. Oh, well, I guess you'll never see the true beauty of the things that you can find in there late at night when you've had too much laudanum.
I will listen. I get value by buying items like this and just staring at them and not playing or touching them at all. Just so I want to look at it and appreciate that it's appreciating.
I can tell you're a person of class and style. And may I give you a little gift?
A lot of people just look at me and appreciate me. I'm used to it.
You offer a gift, and the person is still a little annoyed at the antics, but they won't refuse a gift from such a well-spoken and nice old lady. So
at the moment that he's reaching for the gift, would you say he's slackened his hands on the item?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sure. We'll say that they let their guard down.
Okay. She's gonna try and rip the lid off.
Okay. Go ahead and do a strength check for me then.
Okay, that's with advantage.
Uh-huh.
A 9 and a 6.
Ooh, a 9. Let's do a little counter roll here. A 10. So, what happens in this case here is that you don't rip the lid off the box. What happens instead is that in the effort, the box falls out of the hands of the person, lands on the ground, and just sort of like splits open as you do.
Oh, how clumsy. I'm terribly sorry. Oh, I'm just a bit frail these days, I'm afraid.
Well, when that happens, you might notice something unusual about the box when that happens. The soul energy you're getting from it was merely an artifact of something on the internal lining of the box. Like it was laminated with a soul-like interface on the inside. So it felt like there was a soul in there. But in reality, the box was just filled with, safe nitrogen or some other like argon. It was filled with argon or some other gas like that. A noble gas to preserve it.
Safe argon.
It was full of stuff, but now it's argon.
I was Jeez. I feel like that might be a bit far.
but anyways, the point being that like the box has been open and you're able to sort of pierce the veil of what might be going on here.
You've been had, Sonny.
What? No, man. No, it says right on the box. It's a mint gem, and they kind of struggle to kind of put the box back together.
Oh, bless your heart.
All right. Is there anything you convey about this to the others while they have their own particular items that they picked up?
I must say, this place is on the dodgy side, and usually I'm all for that, but I suppose I have come to regard you as all right, I guess. So, same boat and everything. I'm not sure about the veracity of these things.
Look, I'm not too sure about these things either, but look, as long as it looks good enough on a first inspection, it's going to be good enough for my Warlock.
Haggle is all I'm saying. Haggle.
I mean, I suppose haggle. I just want to be done with this so I can get back to optimizing the spreadsheet.
I suppose that is the joy of fake random chance and luck stuff. It could be anything.
Exactly. If it turns out that it's dodgy, I just go, oh, well, that's some of the bad luck, and then I just sort of tweak the numbers to adjust for them having some bad luck to give them some good luck to get them back on track. It all works out.
Well, that may be fine for you, but my boy deserves the best, and I'm not going to give him anything short of that. So if either of you would be willing to make sure that this is as good as it can be, as far as you can tell, I'm not so good at that kind of thing, I admit. And she'll submit the card to for basically authentication.
What would I need to roll to try and help him authenticate?
Let's just have everyone roll intelligence. Just have everyone roll intelligence as as a group try to verify the authenticity of this.
14.
Botch.
All right.
Ooh.
All right. So, the groups. So what do you got there, Josephine?
I got a 13.
All right, so the group succeeds, but that botch is going to cause a little bit of a consequence here. So, here's what happens. Upon the investigation, there is a realization when you're all discussing kind of the merits of what's happening on there, and the main realization is that you, Josephine, finally realized after some questions from Gambella that, wait a minute, the hair color is wrong. That's not Judas's hair. It's like she is a medium brown brunette. This is clearly a brown red. It's the wrong color. And that sort of tips off that there's something really fishy about it. But before you're able to kind of like turn to someone to kind of show the item in question, unfortunately, Beryl ends up basically breaking the item through just the sheer force of tendril action. Effectively, the casing snaps open and the facade of the card disappears, revealing it to be a blank card underneath.
Well, that's not right.
Ta-da!
It was the wrong picture before, and now there's no picture at all. I need to talk to them about this. And she'll take the card back to the counter and hail the person who sold it to her and was mumbling about what to do about how to sell the artifact and all that other business.
Yeah, when you go there, you see that the artifact is already in a box with a mint gem rating on it and a description that's completely wrong on it.
Now, hold on here. Hold on. What's all this? What do you mean? What do you mean what I mean? I said that's not what that is. I even clarified what it is.
That. I mean, that's a different item. You see, like it looks close, but it's not exactly the same thing. You see.
No, I know what I gave you. It actually has some degree of importance, and there's not really anything else like it.
I mean, like, right? There's enough differences in this one to make it a legally distinct item. You see.
I'm not certain that you're really being honest with me right now.
They look at your hands and see the case kind of snapped open, the blank card underneath, and they visibly are already starting to sweat a little bit at this. Like, well, you see our store policy. All sales are final unless we say otherwise, and I haven't said anything otherwise about it. So, unfortunately, the sale is final. I can't do anything about that.
I mean, I did buy this. It's not what I wanted to buy, but I don't like that you're claiming that what I gave you is something else.
Okay, let me handle this for you. Let me handle this. I've got this. Right. Hello, wonderful store clerk here. Look, I know a scammer when I see one, but I'm gonna give you a chance to make today work all the better for you. Look, with a place like this, who doesn't love going double or nothing? I have this wonderful little mystery box here. And I'm going to present it to you. If you want to open this box, actually, well, I've got two boxes. You can pick which of the two you open. One of them, we pay you triple what we paid for that card. You just get extra money. That's all it is. The day is done. You've got an extra payday. The reverse, you go in the back and you get the actual card out, and we speak no more of the scam you tried to pull today. Just two little boxes, either triple payday or you at worst, you give us what was paid for, How about it?
The merchant sort of looks between the box and then also just looks over at Josephine to see if there's anything that Josephine is doing in addition to perhaps nudge things along in this particular bartering here.
Josephine is looking very, very disappointed in them with that kind of like mom is not mad, just disappointed kind of look, even though this person is not related to her. It does seem like she is actually kind of losing a little bit of patience. She is tapping her black gold trimmed pump on the ground.
Okay. Sure. I mean, what's the harm in it, you know?
Oh, what is the harm? What is the harm? Go on, which box do you want, A or B?
Let's go with A.
Now the trick here is that Gambella didn't say which box was A or B, and once you know box A has been asked for, she's just going to hand the box over that is the bad box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you may have made assumptions about which were A and B, but this is box A. There you go.
The box is open, and they look inside and are like, oh, damn. All right.
Oh, what a shame. Well, you know, you've not lost out that. Look, think of it this way: you're at 0 point of getting paid for a product that you sold. Is that really losing? Could have gone so much worse.
All right. 1 second, and they turn around, walk through a door, and basically, when the door is left open, you kind of see like. What is effectively a copy of every item that you've seen in the storefront, just kind of sitting in the back. And it takes about a minute or two, but they return with the requested card in question, this time just in a simple plastic sleeve and not in one of the fancier hard plastic cases, before presenting the item to the party.
Yeah, that'll do. There you go, dear. I'm sure your boy will love it.
Oh, thank you. Really?
You're telling the truth this time, or are we gonna have to fill you with bees?
I mean, you could look at it for yourself. And
Josephine will put it on the table for further scrutiny, or the counter, rather.
I would say that given the what's happened here, the fact that the card can even be pulled out from the plastic sleeve and retain its appearance does suggest that it is the real deal. That being said, bee filling might still be on the menu anyway, so that's up for you, Beryl, to determine.
Josephine will basically say like, all right, thank you very much for giving me what I actually purchased, but I'm going to insist that you actually sell that as what it is and not what it isn't, because that's not nice.
I mean, this is not a game, so we're not a nice establishment. We are an establishment that sells the highest rated products that we can.
Insignificant parasite, I gave you an instruction. You will follow it to the letter, or you will suffer divine retribution.
And they get cut off in mid-sentence when I think the veil of Josephine breaks for a moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when she loses her temper, basically she stops being the way that she looks and becomes kind of an amorphous, like golden glowed something that still has her face, but the eyes are like actually like radiating like solar grades of light out of them. Like she hurts to look at, both physically and psychologically, and the only thing that remotely resembles her otherwise is the fact that her tentacles are still like thrashing about and kind of not seeming to have a whole lot of control in the moment.
I suspect that Beryl actually sees that as like, oh, okay, that's not my style, but pretty cool, honestly. Just like,
I haven't seen anything quite that glorious in a retail unit since the dark goddess of retail, Karen. Oh, the way she'd just get the manager out there and just ring them. Oh, it was glorious. But that was good too. I like that.
Oh, thank you. She says, reverting back to normal immediately with no question.
The shopkeep is like passed out behind the counter, by the way. So,
And justice was done that day.
Okay, Beryl's going to fill in with bees.
Go right ahead. Justice was done this day.
the store owner of Nada Games will be awoken to the sound and sensation of bees on the inside and the outside. And no, they will not be able to be raided because they are not even tangible in some ways.
Shall we be off?
Be off. I like it.
Oh, wonderful.
All right. With that, you know, have all been able to acquire goods for your little warlocks and can, with the usage of maps and various portals and back entrances, are able to find your way back to the academy to make your deliveries. As you get in there is a little bit of a noise that has sort of spilled out into the hallways. It appears that the melee room has sort of expanded out its operations as letters are thrown about in a bit of a chaotic fury down the hall away from you all.
Oh, this is fun.
I presume that the teams are brown and yellow.
Those are some of the teams. There are some of the factions of brown and yellow, and there's other similar factions. I'm trying to think of other acronyms that would be funny to go with there, but you got the University Postal Service, you know, so you got the UPS, obviously. You got the oh gosh, I can't think of some other ones on the fly. I'm losing it. But with that, you've all returned. If you want to have some moments of final parting with your particular warlocks, you're welcome to have them.
I think Gambella's very, very nice, very quick one. She turns up at the door with a couple of handfuls of confetti she's dug out of her pockets ready for the occasion. She'll sort of knock on the door. As the door opens, throw the handfuls of confetti in the air to be like, look, isn't this an exciting moment?
The door box, yeah, all right.
Yeah, you opened look, sometimes you open the door and, that was you didn't know opening the door was a random pull, did you?
Of course.
Wonderful. Well, here is, close your eyes, put your hands out, here's the gift for you. And Gambella will start sort of humming a little, loot box opening jingle.
Yeah, just like...
Yeah, it's somewhere between just like a low whooshing and like the Zelda opening a chest music. Ready to eventually be like, and you can open your eyes, to this sort of amalgam of kitschy good luck objects.
All right, and you know, obviously Carissa is just sort of like ecstatic when they see this. They're hopping around a little bit. You know, they're asserting that it has to be like a 5-star pull, and like that, you know, they offer up a hug. Whether or not that's accepted is fine, but what
I think it'll be accepted.
Yeah. So they get a hug. You know, this thank you's given, and then they head back to their stuff, blissfully unaware of how everything's being manipulated behind their back.
Look, if that manipulation leads to them being very, very, very happy at the end results, then who am I to stop?
And besides, you might have some problems, but at least you're not Fate to win.
Well, exactly. And I think just on the way out the door, Gambella's just going to go, keep up your dailies, and who knows, maybe you'll get a 6-star.
There's a 6-star.
Maybe. And off she walks.
So Beryl, you got your supplies necessary for what you plan on doing for Nigel, and you got some new members of the family. So you know.
Yeah. She's gonna turn up his door, and the first announcement that she's there is gonna be that there's all these oily tentacles just curling around the inside of his door. But he's so used to her now that it's just sort of like, yeah, Beryl's here.
Sweet. All right. Hey, Beryl. Hey, I was just organizing. I was organizing coins on my table by like how identical they were. You know, they're all copper pieces, but which ones are the more identical copper pieces? You know.
Yeah, and which of them are cursed?
I'm sorry about that. Sorry.
And which of them are cursed? You should know this by now. Come on, you
I
all the
mean,
book
like,
stuff.
I don't think any of them are. I mean, they all look pretty. Like this one looks a little double struck there, so they're probably gonna throw that one out. It's probably not worth much, but like, they're just but I don't see any curses here. There's not really anything in here that's really cursed as far as I can tell.
Well, that's where you're wrong. It's your lucky day. I remember I said about the whole you could do with some tentacles thing, and you were like, "Yay, tentacles!"
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So I have got you this cursed. I mean, this. You can check yourself. Actually, it's a needle for a coiling grasp tattoo. Wouldn't you look good with a tattoo, Nigel?
Tattoo. I mean, that would look pretty cool. Yeah.
Exactly. You said you wanted to be cool, popular with all the other kids.
All right. So they pick up the needle. They look at it, and they fail to identify anything cursed about it.
Absolutely fine. Right. That's it. I'm just gonna. Whereabouts are you gonna go for it? You're gonna go for the chest, across your back.
I mean, like, well, listen. Wherever you think it looks best. I mean, that's where I'll put it. Maybe then I could like make it my profile picture on like on the
Instagram.
Server. Yes.
Well, I suppose then, yes, I think we'll probably go for just the whole chest and upper arms, maybe. Okay, brace yourself, lad.
The door closes, and then like there's just the sounds of just things. Where's the ink coming from? Who knows? But
she has inky tentacles. But yes, you have that like whole shot from the outside. There's some screaming, just the buzzing sound of a tattoo needle going on for 20 or 30 minutes. People walking past, hurrying past as soon as they sort of hear what's going on. And then we cut back in. There's a tattoo that cannot legally be purchased by Anish Kapoor or anyone working for it.
I like the idea that when people are passing by, like, wow, Nigel's actually screaming for once. That's wow, he's actually doing something. Anyway, it's just like Nigel's so boring that just the fact that he's screaming is more interesting than what he's normally like.
Yeah, but he's probably found just some really exciting gravel or something. You know what he's like.
Yeah, exactly. He saw that one stone. He was just like, man, this stone is so like the perfect stone. And just like, what is a perfect stone, man? You're just making up stuff. Anyways.
I don't know, man, but I am perfectly stoned.
Big same, my dude.
For all,
like
for
high five.
For all the clusters of the earth, none of them rock. Hey!
All right, so Nigel gets what they deserve with their now totally not cursed coiling graph tattoo.
Tentacles for all.
Tentacles for all. And speaking about tentacles for all, there's one set of tentacles left to resolve things, and that's Josephene over there.
Well, Josephine, upon returning to the campus, is just absolutely radiant, and she doesn't even need to wait because, well, there's only one thing that causes that around here, and her son knows what it is.
Yep. And as soon as you get to the door, you don't even have to even knock because the radiance kind of shines through the door and it just opens. And there's Stephen Eldraine just being like, hey, Mom, I didn't think you'd be back so soon, but...
Oh, well, I had a mission, and I was going to do the best I could for you because I want what's best for you, and I took what you said into consideration, and me and a couple of the other patrons, we went out, and we got you this, and she'll hand over the card.
There's a pause before Steven's just like, wow, I mean, thank you?
You're quite welcome, dear. I hope that you and your friends enjoy it.
Well, I mean, fully honest, I was just, I guess, well, I was talking with Judith when she came by before you did, and, and during all of that, I one of the things that came up was just like, I asked her, I was never sure what she saw in you as all as like, but I don't know. I mean, this is actually kind of cool. So, well, I I guess it'll be fun to surprise Judith next time she shows up by having this card kind of out in the open. She's going to ask me where I got it from, and I'll try to keep it a secret. But
Oh, I don't mind if she knows. I kind of want to speak with her again anyway. Anyhow, I have to get going, and she will draw a halo with her finger into the ceiling and kind of like start drifting through it, with her voice kind of distorting a little bit as she goes.
well, I'll try to be well behaved. I can't, I might be a little rebellious at times just to kind of be more like Judith,
Oh, you always were a kidder, Steve.
And on that Harvester reference, I think we're going to be able to close it off here for the day here as the patrons each make their deliveries. Their patrons are, their warlocks are better off for it, for the most part.
I came up with this entire character around that one stupid joke that I just did. I'm so happy for it.
And a sufficient amount of chaos was embedded into the multiplanar shopping center.
Excellent.
So in other words, it was Tuesday.
Yes. Well, yes.
For me,
Well,
it was Tuesday.
Exactly.
well, I will say thank you again for all of you for joining in. And with that, hopefully there will be another day where we'll revisit Shardpoint, maybe with the mailroom back in order, maybe with more warlocks being better behaved, and hopefully with fewer audit-inducing catastrophes to be managed by the headmaster. But until next time, thank you all for watching, and thank you all for listening, rather. I put this on YouTube, so I was thinking watching, but thank you all for listening. And if you're listening to this when it released, then next week should be the start of Rezubian, so hang tight for that.